Alrighty, guys, before we get on any further, this segment will contain spoilers for Thunderbolts, kind of. I say kind of because the thing that we're going to talk about here wasn't actually really discussed at all in Thunderbolts, but has now been seemingly confirmed after the fact, so you can take this for what you will. You can count this as a spoiler for Thunderbolts, even though what I'm about to talk about really has no bearing on Thunderbolts at all, which maybe in itself is a spoiler, so take this for what you will. We're going to talk about something that a producer said regarding one of these side characters, not talking about the Thunderbolts themselves, but a side tertiary character in Thunderbolts, and talk about what this could possibly mean. So you've been warned, potential spoilers ahead. So there are a couple other characters in Thunderbolts that didn't get a whole lot of screen time, but certainly had a presence. And we're not even talking about Julia Louis-Dreyfus or any of the Thunderbolts. We're not even talking about Taskmaster. There are a couple characters like played by Wendell Pierce, the Congressman, and the character Mel, played by Geraldine Viswanathan. And so there are a couple of characters like that didn't have a ton of screen time, but were on screen for a little bit of the movie. And Geraldine, Mel, the character Mel, played, she was the assistant to Val, and again, not getting too much into the movie if you haven't seen it, but she was Val's assistant, basically. And honestly, there wasn't a whole lot else that came out of that character. She just was what she was. But there was a lot of speculation before the film, because her name was Mel. I think that was revealed at some point before Thunderbolts came out. And people were like, well, maybe she could be Songbird, because the character of Songbird in the Marvel comics, her name is Melissa, and I think she does go by Mel in the comics, Melissa Gold. And people were speculating, okay, is this a character that, would Geraldine Viswanathan suit up to be a superhero herself in Thunderbolts? Well, again, this is the part of the segment that has spoilers for Thunderbolts. She did not. Right? But I guess the question still persisted. And now a producer was doing an interview with IMDb. His name is Brian Chapek, producer of Thunderbolts, who I believe has no relation to Bob Chapek, the former CEO of Disney. And that's a whole other side story. And he basically confirmed that she is, in fact, playing a version of Songbird. So this is what he had to say. Quote, "There is a character that fans are trying to figure out. Is she or is she not? I would say, what emblem does she wear that may or may not hint at this character's larger identity?" So, again, that's basically confirmation of him saying, yes, this character of Geraldine Viswanathan, she is playing a version of Melissa Gold, a version of Songbird. My question is, why is this being revealed now? Unless Mel secretly has this huge role in Doomsday coming up, that or another MCU project. Maybe she does. For all we know, she appears in Vision Quest or Wonder Man, and she, as Songbird, right? I don't know really who Songbird interacts with the most in the comic books, so for all I know, it makes sense. But it seems odd, because I don't know when we will see this character again, and because she did not at all hint at, other than her necklace, there was no hint or reference to her other ego or alter ego as a superhero, or even a future hint towards her becoming a superhero or anything like that it just feels weird. For him to say there are fans who are kind of wondering who she is, and yeah, that's the character, is like, okay, great. But then what are the implications of that? Honestly, I don't know if there are any. And that's not to say anything bad about Geraldine Viswanathan or anything like that. And not to say that I don't want to see her in the MCU again. She was barely on screen during Thunderbolts, so I don't know enough about her character and didn't have a good grasp of her character in general. But, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing her again in the MCU. My point is just that, well, I don't quite get the timing of this quote. He might have just been saying it in an interview. Maybe he was saying something like, oh yeah, we'll see her again at some point, and she's playing this character Songbird. But it seems kind of odd, because I don't know where and when in the MCU. Maybe she has a cameo in Doomsday. She shows up at the New Avengers facility, Watchtower, whatever it's called, and she has a mini action sequence as Songbird. Honestly, I don't know. I just find this interesting, because to me, it's one thing if she, at the end of the movie, there was a hint of something to where she was something more than just, Val's assistant. But it really didn't look like there was any. And so this is maybe just a fun Easter egg at the end of the day, but it's something that I think, is worth thinking about, just in the fact that maybe she shows up again at some point and she is Songbird, because that's basically what Brian Chapek is implying here. So what do you think about his comments that the character of Mel in Thunderbolts is confirmed to be Songbird, in some form or fashion? Let me know in the comments down below.